Hello again everyone, it's me, MadameMacabre, and have you ever had a teacher that you just knew wanted to see you fail? Welcome back again everybody. Today I have yet another story time to share with all of you. Today's story actually takes place back when I was in the 9th grade. Now 9th grade over here can be a different thing depending on district to district. It can either be your very first year of high school or your very last year of middle school. For where I went to school, it was my last year of middle school, so I had not yet started high school yet. Now, I'm not sure what the standard protocol is, but at my middle school, we did have AP or advanced placement classes, and being an intense bookworm, I had always been a straight A student, and I was in a lot of AP classes. So, back in 9th grade, it wasn't like in college or anything when you get to choose your teachers and choose your courses. You are assigned your classes, you don't get a say in it. And for AP Math, there were two different teachers. There was one I was familiar with, who my sister had, who was a great teacher. He was really fun, really good. He was very fair, and I had hoped to get this teacher. I didn't know anything about the other teacher, I just wanted this other one based on good experiences. Sadly, I did not get this teacher that I wanted. I was placed in the class with this other teacher I knew nothing about. God, I wish I hadn't been. This woman was a trip. Oh, geez, here we go. What do I call her? We'll call her Ms. Smith for reasons, because I don't really want to get into saying real names. So, Ms. Smith, how do I put this? I don't like commenting on people's appearances because it's usually not relevant at all and it can just be mean-spirited. But with this woman, I believe it was genuinely relevant and related to her poor treatment of me and others in our class. So with that context in mind, Miss Smith, she was a bit heavier set of a woman who didn't really appear to care all that much about things in regards to personal appearance. Not saying that there's anything wrong with you not caring about how you look and come off to others. That's totally valid standpoint in life. But with this woman, just imagine someone who doesn't wear any makeup, clearly doesn't like it. Again, nothing wrong with that. Doesn't really do anything about hair care and doesn't really put any thought into wearing clothing that flatter her body type or are fashionable in any way. Again, if you don't want to do your hair, you don't want to do your makeup, you just want to wear sweats, nothing wrong with that. But again, this directly linked to how she treated others, because since she decided that that was the ideal way to live, she didn't really care for, specifically, she really didn't like girls who did all those things she didn't. If you really cared about fashion or you cared about wearing clothing that flattered your body type, wasn't a fan. If you did your hair, you cared for it, used lots of products, you did your makeup, really not a fan of you. And she made no bones about letting you know she didn't care for what you were doing with your appearance and that she thought she was doing the right thing and you should too. And that's where it crosses the line for me. You can choose to dress and present yourself however you want. It doesn't affect anybody else. But when you start mistreating other people because they do something differently and you don't like that, that stops being okay, and I start having a problem with that. Anyway, all of this is relevant to my story because on the first day of class, I did myself up very nice. I dressed in some of my nicer clothes. I did my makeup as nicely as I could in middle school, and I did my hair as well as I could. I tried to make a good impression on my first day. And unfortunately, she didn't really care for this. Being a bookworm, I had some questions about the syllabus she had given us, and I decided to hang back behind class a bit to ask her those questions. This woman, during the time that I was there just being a good student trying to ask questions, decided it was entirely appropriate to take it upon herself to tell me,
Katie, has anyone ever told you that you would look so much better without makeup? I think no young women, in fact no women at all, should put that goop on their face. It looks terrible, and it's just a bad practice to get into.
I don't really see what this has to do with math, but okay, wow. Who says these kinds of things to their young teenage students? Sure, my makeup probably wasn't fantastic at that age, but it was an exploratory time and it was my choice to do so. And I don't think it was fair for her to sort of put her own opinions on women and makeup and all that and impose it on her students. And even then, I thought it was wrong, so I told her how I felt about it. Miss Smith, I like wearing makeup. Nobody's forcing me to wear it. I'm gonna keep wearing it. I do like it. Apparently, she didn't care for me not jumping on board the, yeah, makeup sucks, screw all men, like, bandwagon. And she decided that, you know what? All right, this girl's a lost cause. First day of school, I don't care. Next. I don't know what kind of broken person you gotta be to treat little middle schoolers like this, but from that point on, the entire rest of the time I had her as my teacher, from the first day, she decided, you know what? I don't like you anymore because you disagree with my opinions. Okay, so having derailed onto my little misadventure from the first day, back on track with the rest of the story. So being a teacher of AP Math, there were a lot of straight A students in that class. She knew this, so it seems she derived some sort of sick pleasure out of messing with that.
I see a lot of bright and eager faces here, and I'm glad you all love learning so much. I'm sure you're all very used to getting lots of straight A's, which is why you're here in my advanced placement course. But I'm sorry to inform you that straight A's will be no more. I don't believe in giving A's in this class. A's are for the best of the best, so I will hand select a few of you to get A's. Everyone else will have to settle for B's, because that's how life works.
You don't believe in giving A's? That's not how this works. For those of you who don't have a letter-graded score system, A's are the top grade you can get. So basically, this woman believed that even if you performed well enough to earn the top score, she wasn't going to give it to you. Only a couple people were going to get it, and lo and behold, those few people that actually got the A's were girls who agreed with her opinions and standpoints. Curious, And I know some of you are probably thinking, well, as long as you did well enough, you'd still be able to get an A. There was nothing she could do about it. But that's where you're wrong. This woman was nuts. She was crazy dedicated to this goal, and when she said she wasn't going to give out A's, she meant it. She did everything in her power to keep people she didn't want to get A's from getting A's. She would literally find anything she could to bump you down out of the A category if she didn't want you to have that A. If you were a B+ and you just really wanted to bump it up to an A, let's say she offered extra credit for the entire class, and you were close to being to that A, and that extra credit would have pushed you over the line from having a B+ into an A. She wouldn't accept the extra credit from you specifically.
Oh, the extra credit is only for people who are struggling with their grades, so I can't accept this from you.
Once again, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Why are you a teacher? It blew my mind that she was able to get away with this. In fact, I don't think legally she should have been able to. And even at that age, I knew it was an injustice. Come report card day, I got my first B in my entire life. I know for some of you, like, why are you complaining? That's just, for me, my school life wasn't really social. All it was study and do book smarts. There's different kinds of smarts. I was just good at the particular model of smarts they offered in school, you know, books, that stuff. But to me, it was a big deal because I was aiming to keep a 4.0 for scholarships. And to me, that was like a swing at my college education just for her own personal, oh, you don't agree with my opinion? No A for you. And obviously my parents were not upset at me not getting straight A's at all. They were like, oh, a B+ is still really good and this is a really hard math class. They were totally supportive and happy. However, that was until I explained to them why I was so upset. I told them about her motto of not giving out A's. She doesn't believe in giving out A's. How she would seemingly punish you if you did too well to bring your score down. How she would refuse to give you extra credit to raise it back up. And as anyone can imagine, my parents were livid. First things first, upon getting this knowledge, they called up the school and immediately wanted this woman's head. But strangely enough, the school wasn't really eager to do anything against her, which is crazy to me. This woman blatantly said she wasn't going to be giving people A's because she didn't believe in it. Not for any valid legal reason. She was going to be messing with their transcripts, messing with their future, just because of her own personal belief. What the hell? Okay, but so the school didn't want to do anything, no matter how much my parents, they went in and talked to people, and the schools were like, not really anything we can do. They started to use the excuse that there wasn't anything they could do, but it seemed like they either didn't care or were afraid of this woman. But that is not where this story ends, because my parents, especially my mom can be a grizzly bear when people mess with her kids. They didn't give up, and they kept harping on the school that something needed to be done. No, sadly, the thing that got done was not this woman being punished or fired or anything she deserved. As far as I know, nothing ever happened to this woman. But for me, at least, my parents just being on the school and constantly harping on them resulted in me being allowed to be transferred into the other AP math teacher's class. So for me personally, I did get a happy ending because the teacher was great, he was very fair, and I was able to rather quickly get my grade from a B+ back up to an A. And, there we go, back to 4.0 for colleges, all that good stuff. But sadly, it wasn't the case for the entire rest of the class for that woman, all the kids who didn't have parents who were willing to be their advocate, or the kids just didn't care enough and they were happy to settle with the B+. I don't know, but it just still, to this day, rubs me the wrong way that that woman could still be out there teaching. And I don't know if anything ever will get done about her, because we live in such a sue-happy environment and day and age that who knows, like if the school tried to punish her, maybe you should sue them for something stupid. I don't know, but I don't like the fact that the school never punished her and she could still be out there ruining people's school records just for her own personal beliefs, and my suspicion that she was choosing to punish people who didn't agree with her personal opinions. Honestly, if you are gonna let your personal opinions affect the way you grade and teach the younger generation up and coming, you have no business being in the teaching field. You have no business being around young people, period. I don't know, I'm still rather spicy about this because this woman was not very nice. She seemed nice enough that first day in class, but the second I disagreed with her opinions, I was just something nasty on the bottom of her shoe to her for all she cared. And don't like that. Don't like that at all. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this infuriating little story. If you did, please consider leaving a like. It really helps the channel out. And if you want more content like this, please consider subscribing. And if you've encountered any teachers like this, feel free to share your stories in the comments below. Anyway, that is all we have time for today, and I will catch you all next time with a new story. Anyway, until then, remember, stay creepy.